A lot of your videos, you talk about ADHD,
Yeah.
another ADHD machine here.
Yeah, nice.
What I want to ask you is, what did you do to find out how you tapped into your ADHD?
Self-awareness is the key. Get to know you. Get to know you. And, ADHD is one of those conditions where if you've got an interest in yourself, you'll have plenty of time to think about it. Plenty of times to get to know yourself. And it can be quite confronting. I was very lucky that I started developing a level of self-awareness at a relatively early age. I was aware that I didn't concentrate at school like everyone else. I was aware that I got into trouble at school more than anyone else. I was just aware that I was very different, and my conscious awareness of my difference not only made me feel weird, but it developed a level of self-awareness that I didn't realize was actually quite fundamental in my growth. Because when I started to realize that I was different, the kids at school would tease me, and I'd get teased, I got bullied by saying, you're different, there's something wrong with you. And I'd come home crying, and I'd say to my mum, why am I different? And she gave me the perfect answer. She said, because you're special. You're here to do something great, and don't ever forget that. I started to go, well, how can I use that to my advantage? Does that make sense? And it wasn't until my early 20s where I started to realize that ADHD was actually a benefit. It could actually serve me. And just to give you guys context, someone suggested to me when I was young, one of my relatives who I spent a lot of time with, they would say to me, Kerwin, you're just so stupid. You're just like your mother. You're just stupid. Literally, at a very early age. And as a result, as a consequence of that suggestion, I failed every single subject from year 1 to year 12. Okay? I would read a book, and it would be like I was literally looking at numbers moving on a page.
I didn't know until I left school that I had the capacity to learn, because everything I was trying to learn up until that point I wasn't fucking interested in. The way I was classified or measured for intelligence at school was your ability to recite and remember the things that you're being taught, and I was fucking terrible at that stuff because I wasn't interested.
And then all of a sudden one day I pick up a book at the age of 23 called The Magic of Thinking Big, written by Dr. David Schwartz, and I finally read something that I was interested, right? And I remember reading it and going, wow, I actually remembered the chapter that I just read. Oh my God. And I remember finishing that book, and then I literally had this realization. Maybe I'm not stupid. Like, I remember saying to myself, maybe I'm not stupid. And that was like at age 22, 23. And it was at that point I started going, okay, so if I'm not stupid, what else is a lie? And I started looking at all the lies that I told myself, and I started dissecting them. And it was a long journey. But for me, ADHD was one of the greatest gifts that I could have been given. So the more we understand about ADHD, the more we understand about self, the easier it is for us to work with it and not against it. Because when you work against a condition like ADHD, it becomes a problem. And it's not a problem. It is a reason that things happen in different ways to the way that they happen to others. And when you understand that, you just do things differently. Looking at the good parts and the bad parts of self and going, wow, I'm perfect. You're not perfect unless you've got both sides. If you've got only one side, you're imbalanced. Our flaws is what create perfection. There is no such thing as perfection where there's nothing wrong. It's just being able to see the balance of both sides. ADHD really is an incredible gift.